Hi guys, it's Mandylee, the RPG Queen, and let's get started. Okay, so no lie, my previous idea for a channel name was MandyleeRPG Queen, but I thought, there's a lot of kings and queens out there. I know MandyleePlays isn't exactly original either, but So where were we? Yes, today's video is about RPGs and JRPGs, and more specifically why I enjoy RPGs and why they're my favorite genre out of all of gaming. I'm not really going to go into the debate of which one's better between Western RPGs and JRPGs. I'm just going to talk about in general. But yeah, so this is what this video is about. I know a lot of you are kind of wondering what my RPG tastes are and my favorite ones. And before we get into my favorite ones, I want to just let you know why RPGs is my favorite genre and why I personally enjoy them more than any other genre. But that doesn't mean I only enjoy RPGs. I do need a break from them once in a while, and I do like other games for other reasons. So let's just, hop right into the hole. I don't know what hole I'm hopping in because it's not a controversial subject. Okay, so this is my first official video of 2019. Sorry, I was choked on air, I guess. So this marks my first video of 2019. So yay! And before I hop into why I love RPGs, let me explain what an RPG is. So basically an RPG is a role-playing game, and it can either be tabletop, live action, which no, and in video games. So RPG has a massive umbrella with different subgenres under it, and with today's games and technology, most games kind of grab from RPG elements. That's why you would see a game have like a level up system, because while it's not a RPG to the fullest, it does grab some elements of RPG and uses them. So RPGs are pretty big and they're very commonly well known. So you're probably asking, why am I taking the time to define an RPG to an audience of gamers? I know you guys aren't dumb, but I need to pad out this video. No, that's not the reason, JK. So the reason I'm taking the time to explain to you what an RPG is because with every RPG and every sub-genre RPG, there is a common thread, and that is storytelling. That is the biggest part of a role-playing game. It doesn't matter if it's live or on tabletop or in video games, it usually always involves the story, and the story being, first and foremost, because that's, the whole thing about RPGs. You're role-playing. You're playing a role that is not in the usual, so you gotta have a story behind it, motivation, and even with tabletop games and live action, you need to carve out a really good story. And that's the basis of what an RPG is. And I'm not saying that all RPGs have awesome stories, and they focus on characters, the lore, and a narrative for that game. And I'm not saying gameplay is not important, because it is, but they usually put gameplay like second and story first. And okay, this does not account for all RPGs, because like I said, RPGs is a big umbrella with many subgenres under it. This is just most. And nowadays, a lot of RPGs are meshing story with gameplay really good. For example, Nier Automata, Persona, Fallout New Vegas, or Fallout 4. All those games are slowly trying to mesh together that perfect medium of storytelling and great gameplay. And another example is Kingdom Hearts, and the list goes on and on. So just because a game is an RPG doesn't mean the gameplay sucks, and vice versa. So I'm telling you all this so you can see where I'm coming from. And another thing to note is that my other hobby besides playing video games is reading. So I really love narratives and storytelling, especially in video games, because they offer something that a book can never do or a movie can never do, and that's the interaction. So that's why on Twitter I always say I love story this, story that, and I play a lot of RPGs, JRPGs, and RPGs are my favorite. It's because the story is what really grabs me and keeps me playing. The gameplay does help a lot, but to me it's all about the story, and that's where RPGs come into play because they're role-playing games. They're based off stories. They're a way of storytelling. So that's why I do love RPGs more than any other genre. I love a good story, and the video game industry has so much untapped potential when it comes to storytelling in its medium because it's so unique and so interactive, especially with VR, AR, or even, wagging the motion control or just playing on the controller gives you that sense that you're more into the story than a book or a movie can do or a TV show can do. So basically it's video games plus RPG equals awesome story. Love for Mandy. But in all seriousness, that's why I love RPGs, and especially single player RPGs. Don't be touching my single player RPGs because those are the most important games to me because I'm a single player. I mostly play single player games. I sound so lonely, but no, I enjoy single player games and the story experiences. MMORPGs, which are massive multiplayer online RPGs, they still have a story, but you got people around you who might snipe you. But RPGs aren't perfect. Some of them suffer from linearity, taking control out of the player even though it's a role-playing game, giving too much control to the player and the story getting lost. There's a whole host of issues that RPGs face, and making a good RPG is not an easy feat by any means, so it's not impossible either. And I've been noticing recently in gaming where they're trying to find that nice medium where it could be open world with a story that actually matters. You don't just go somewhere and leave the story for a bunch of hours. And it's a balancing act for sure, and that's where JRPGs come in. JRPGs seem to really have a kind of formula to it. They do have flaws, don't get me wrong, and not all of them is the same. I gravitate towards the JRPG just because they have that mix of gameplay and story and character. So while RPGs are my favorite, I don't only play RPGs. I do get fatigue sometimes from playing a lot of them, especially back to back. So I like to, spice things up and play like a pickup easy game like New Super Mario Deluxe or Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors, Super Smash Ultimate. But they are, to the core, my favorite genre and one of the biggest genres in gaming. So that's it for today's video. If you liked the video, please give me a like. And if you like my content and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. And leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Are RPGs your favorite? What's your favorite RPG? Cheers to my first video in 2019. I'm looking forward to this year, and it's going to be a big year for my channel, so I hope to see you there. You can follow me on Twitter at MandyleePlays. I hope you guys have an awesome day and play a good game. Bye!